Okay, here we are. Today's May 11th. It is 5:32 p.m. I'm Natalie Wilkerson, the president of the Paul Sawyer Public Library Board of Trustees. I will call the meeting to order and ask our secretary, Carolyn Lynch, to record the attendance, please. First item of business is to approve the agenda, which was sent out earlier. You all have had a chance to review it. Can I have a motion to approve?
A motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Thank you all. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Great. We'll move on to the minutes of the previous meeting, and we have a few. So let's be deliberate about it for the purposes of these minutes. So we'll go chronologically, which I believe starts with our April 13th board meeting. Would anybody like to move to accept the submitted minutes of the April 13th board meeting?
Move to approve the April 13th board meeting.
I'll second.
Thank you. Okay, any discussion or last minute things that you all notice about them that you'd like to change? All right, they look good to me. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I think that was a unanimous passage. Okay, great. Let's move on to the April 22nd minutes. This was a special called meeting to discuss board vacancies. Motion to approve the April 22nd minutes.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Maria. Do we have a second? Bob, would you be able to make the second since the other two, Mary Lynn and Patty weren't present for that meeting?
Which, are you talking about the 22nd?
Yes.
Actually, I was at the 22nd meeting.
Okay. Well, there's a correction that we need then.
I'm sorry I didn't say that sooner. I think I did miss the meeting on the 13th, though.
Okay.
Out of town. Or the 11th, whatever day that was of April.
I know. Who can remember dates and
Bob seems to be having trouble with his microphone, which is what.
Oh.
okay, maybe
I can second. I was there.
would you? Thank you. Okay, great. With the edit noting that Patty was present at the April 22nd meeting. All in favor, say aye.
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 I think I heard Bob.
Okay, great. Let's move on now to the April 29th meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the April 29th meeting. I was there.
And I'll second.
Okay, I want to make sure we're spelling Minaj's name right in the
It ends with a J and not an I.
Aye. Yeah.
I mean, it is wrong. Yes. It's Manoj.
okay, with that edit noted, all in favor of approving the April 29th minutes, say aye.
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 Okay, great. Let me open back up my agenda window. And we'll go to the treasurer's report.
I have to admit, Bob. Here we go.
All right. I'll
Okay,
mute
can you hear me
myself.
now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I always have problems with this. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. Where are we?
We're ready for your report, Bob.
Yeah, see, I'm participating on my cell phone now.
Bob, are you ready to present the treasurer's report?
Oh, sure. Yeah, if you're ready for me, I'm sorry.
We're ready for you.
I got distracted.
I think we need to mute one of the mics.
Okay. Treasurer's report is pulled up, and can you hear me okay? I'm getting feedback, but
We are too.
okay, well, I will move on. The report, as of the end of April, indicates that, let me try to fix something here. Okay, checkbook balance at the beginning of April, 442, 637.19. There were deposits of 49,854.32. This is not working well.
Can you unmute?
Can you put yourself on the video section?
I'm sorry, Gene. What was that?
That part of the screen. That-
I'm having a total breakdown here. I'm sorry. Can you postpone this until I figure this out?
Yes, we will. Move on to the director's report.
All right. You should have all received a copy of the director's report. We're moving ahead. People seem to be enjoying, we're coming in increasing numbers, particularly adults. We're still not seeing a lot of families with children, but more than each week we see more. So we're looking at that to improve the summer with the summer reading program and some of the events that we have planned. So we'll be doing some outdoor programming. There will be no programming done within the building, but we'll be doing kits again. We have some nice surprises for the folks who sign up, and then outdoor programming throughout Frankfurt and the county, because we're doing hometown adventures as our theme. So we're hoping that this will encourage folks to get back into the library, folks with children to get back into the library. Our adult patrons seem to be comfortable coming in and spending time here. So that's really encouraging to see. We're doing virtual programming. I see doing this, probably ongoing. It seems to be something that will be a part of our makeup for who knows how long. I think the convenience of it has resonated with people. So there will be folks who, when we do start in-person programming, we may be offering and probably planning on offering a virtual aspect to that so that people can dial in and take part even if they don't want to be here in person. So that's one change that COVID is going to put forward for us that will, and I think other libraries are experiencing something similar. So we're just plugging away and doing the best that we can with what we have, and staff are encouraged to see more folks coming in, and the letters that were sent out about missing materials seem to have done also return materials. People have paid for things, and they also realized that we're open again. So that was a nice benefit to that as well. So it was an unintended benefit that they realized that we're open again, but they did seem to respond well to that. So it's been a positive response to those letters. We have the board appointments is probably another important thing to talk about. Judge Wells has received the nomination letters, and he told us Natalie and I, before I left for vacation, that we would be on the May 13th agenda. Those nominations would be on the agenda. I have not seen that agenda yet. They may not be posted until tomorrow. I checked on it this afternoon and it was not there. So I trust that they will be there. And then once he makes those nominations, the new board members will be sworn in before June 30th. So if that changes, I'll let you know, but we should be good to go with those nominations. And what else? And the other interesting thing is our security situation. Because Mike McIntosh is on leave, finding his replacement has been a little challenging because people we're having trouble filling that position because of a temporary position. So we have contracted with the service Guardian Security from Lexington to provide service. Someone started today. So I think that that's going to work out for us, and we'll see. There's been no change in Mike's status that we're aware of yet. So we're planning on him being gone for the time that he had asked for. So that's pretty much it. Were there any questions about anything else that was in the report?
Jean, I don't have a question about that, about your report. I will say I do appreciate you putting updates in there for all the different departments. That's a nice change, and I like having those updates. I do like that. I do have a question. This is kind of attached to the treasurer's report, but the statistics report that you provided, I noticed that we have the April 2021 statistics compared to April 2020. Is there a way to add 2019 to that?
Sure.
I don't know how hard that would be. We all know that everything fell off the face of the earth last April for the library. And so the numbers are really skewed that way. And I was just wondering, compared to 19, how we're bouncing back with that.
I think that we can do that. I looked at those numbers, and of course I was thrilled with the 2,211% increase in our circulation. So I want to go by, those percentages are great, but I do think, yeah, we can do that for the next report. We'll make sure we get the 2019. I think that is important to see where we're bouncing back from the year before, since last year was such a wash for there. So
Yeah.
we can do that.
Okay. Thank you.
Jean, could I ask you to go into a little, or just describe the categories of the YouTube stats?
Yes. Okay. The YouTube stats, get the right paper here. Those are not cumulative. Those are impressions each month. And as you can see, in April 2020, we had 1,200 impressions, 106 views, and the watch time was about 6.4 hours. So there was a significant jump in people finding our YouTube channel and watching in September of last year. So we went from 3,100 views in August to 6,800 views in September, or impressions. And then the views, went from 160 in August to 712, and the watch time doubled. So we're not really sure what has happened, but you can see from the report, they have increased every month since then. And we don't have an explanation for that. why that is happening, why people have discovered it. But it's pretty interesting that people are finding our content on YouTube and continuing to watch it. So, and that's not just new, that's everything that we have on YouTube. So there's not a single thing that we can attribute it to, but it's really interesting. And it's not, unfortunately, it's not something that we can count in our yearly statistics for the library's annual report, because we can't track it to a certain date and time and program, which is what they want in the annual report. But it is very interesting that people are watching us on YouTube. Is that what you asked for?
That's
Madeline?
exactly what the cumulative thing is what I was wondering, but those numbers are monthly statistics. Okay. Anybody else have questions for Jean? Okay. Bob, are you ready to try the treasurer's report again?
I am, if you can hear me now.
Yeah.
Perfectly, yes.
All right. Okay, treasurer's report. Into your materials. At the beginning of April, there was a balance of $442,637.19. There were deposits in April of $49,854.32. Checks written $213,042.22. Leaving a balance in the operating account at the end of April of $279,449.29. Below that shows our savings account balance, which is a little over $2 million right now. The other accounts, the honor and remembrance account, $23,500 approximately. The Baldry account of $10,000, and this $110,000 approximately that was withdrawn from First Financial and will be deposited to First Federal and another account. So those total $143,826.30. This report shows the line of credit, but there's no balance on the line of credit. Total funds at the end of April, $2,423,417.93. After April 30, there were additional deposits into the account from tax income, $44,913.98. In case you're wondering, that's mostly motor vehicle tax, but some delinquent tax and tangible tax also. And then after the end of the month, here during May through today, we've got the electronic funds transfers plus checks that remain cleared, and total additional funds which are expected to be expended during the month of May, and we'll transfer an additional $100,000 from the savings account, and we'll still have, after that, estimated $114,726.73. The second page shows the revenue and expenditure report to date, and then further on down, you have the monthly credit card summary, which details the credit card charges, and then a list of the checks to be signed. So that, I believe, completes the treasurer's report.
Any questions for Bob while we all take another minute just to digest the treasurer's report? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I move to approve the Treasury's report.
Who wants to second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Carolyn. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye, please.
Aye.
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 Great. Passes unanimously. Okay, we'll move on to committee reports. Budget, I don't believe has met, but we will be meeting in the coming weeks.
Correct.
Well, I'll go ahead, I guess. Are you gonna go through that? Technology did meet.
I think you're the only, Cheryl, just confirm for us that you have not met, but you are going to meet.
Yeah, we have not met. We are scheduled to meet on the 19th.
Okay. Great. And so Bob, keep a mental note of that, and the budget committee will meet after the 19th.
Right.
Okay. Yes, Maria.
Okay, we were able to meet with Rob, and so I asked him to explain a bit about the E-rate and how that affects libraries, because I didn't know. So I just want to share with the committee that update, and then the budget information. The E-rate is a federal funded program that it's been around for quite a while, apparently, and it allows entities like libraries, educational entities, schools, things like that to apply for funding to help with things like electronics, infrastructure, networking, and communications. So this is a program, and as I understand it, and Jean helped me with this, you can actually apply for up to about 100 to 150,000 a year. It turns out that this year that Rob did apply, but we were a bit late. So we've applied for a waiver, and we're waiting to hear back if they will waive the fact that we're a bit late. And if we are entitled to funding, he's applied for about $40,000. And what the library is interested in doing is providing a second internet connection. Right now, although the public internet connection is very secure, there's some interest in separating library business from public business. And so that $40,000 would go a long way to ensuring that happens, so that those are two separate processes. And I think it takes about 3 months, right, Jean? He said it would be about a 3-month process should we get approved. And then he shared with us that we need to upgrade our security system. And this E-rate is a program that you can apply for yearly. So if we don't get it this year, he definitely is prepared to apply for it next year and then thereafter. And it can resolve some issues, like we need to upgrade the security, although our security is in really good shape. I guess it's a daily kind of a battle. I asked him, how often are we attacked? He said every day. It's just constant. And so we're trying to stay ahead of the game. And he said there's some bad actors in the field. And what we really want to do is make sure that we haven't had a serious issue, he said, in about 20 years, but that's because we've always been up to date, in fact, ahead of the program. So if we get the E-rate money funding, about 80% of those expenses can be handled by that, which would be very beneficial for the library. If we are approved for the E-rate, it would mean that we have to update the internet policy. And so Rob is in the process. The KDLA has a template. So he's merging that with what he thinks that the library needs. And he's contacted Mark Overstreet, and he's agreed to assist getting that language together once we find out what's going on with the E-rate. We need a new firewall. And that's going to be a substantial increase. I think we're due for it next year. And it turns out that our manufacturer has some costs that they are forced to pass on. That I don't know if it's the software or hardware, I'm not sure. Maybe Jen, you can help us with that. But Rob said that that the manufacturer had costs that they are going to pass on to not just us, but all of their customers. And so that would be a substantial increase. But he feels that the way he's handled the budget, it won't be necessary to ask for an increase at this point. He'll just be able to maybe hold off spending in some areas and provide whatever additional funding is needed once we upgrade the firewall. The good news is that if we get accepted for the E-rate, that too should help to offset that cost. He submitted a budget to us. And I have to thank Jean. I don't know, somehow I couldn't get my budget to function, pull it up. So I asked Jean to send out the proposed budget. So everyone should have a copy of that. He also shared with us that the original installer in the meeting room of the AV was able to fix it. And so that the problems in the river room are corrected, but we need to upgrade youth programming. The boardroom needs upgrade. And so that would be probably additional cost in the coming year. And I believe that E-rate might even be beneficial for offsetting those costs as well. So it sounds like it's a really good program that hopefully we'll be approved for and then involved in it. And also will increase our ability to get out into the community and connect, do community connections as well. So I don't know if I've missed anything, Jean.
The only thing is that Rob told me today that our waiver was approved. So they are,
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
they're looking at our application. So it'll still take
Great.
a while for us to hear back, but we made the first hurdle.
Great. Woo. So that's it.
That was a lot and very thorough. Thank you. Does anybody have, I mean, seriously, a lot of information that I'm glad you're in charge of it.
Well, it's really interesting, actually. And he invites all of us to come see what he does, but it's just really fascinating.
Anybody have questions for Maria about the technology report? This is from the emails, this is a lower budget than we've had in the past. And I guess with technology, it just is so dependent on what the equipment needs are for that year, what's needed, either broken or needed upgrading or that sort of thing. Is that your sense of it, Maria?
Yes, absolutely. And I think, and I've said this before, he's done an incredible job of cost savings for us. And doing the necessary research combined with his skill, he has saved the library thousands, it's probably untold thousands. And so absolutely. And I think he tried to submit a simpler budget so that it's more accessible to us. And so he's more than glad to answer any questions for us. But yes, absolutely. I think it's based on need. And he's very conscious of being conservative in his spending.
Did Rob mention anything? I know he and Josh typically go to a conference or two every year. No conferences, or were they able to do anything online?
That didn't come up, so I will give him a call and maybe update our next meeting, but that didn't come up.
Jean, are you aware if they were able to attend a virtual conference in the last year?
They usually go to something called Spice World, and
Right.
that was postponed. I don't know that they offered that online. They are planning to go right now. It's tentatively scheduled as an in-person conference in August. So they are on track to attend if that goes forward as planned. So, yeah.
Okay, great.
They do other sessions throughout the year to stay current on technology issues that are coming up. So, but that's the big one that they attend each year.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Maria, and thank you to Rob for putting all that together for us. The budget committee will be deliberating
Sure.
for the budget. Yeah, great. Okay, lost my place on my tabs, but I'm back. If no other committees have met, let's move on to new business, which is a resolution to invest our what should we call them? Anyway, invest recently found funds to reinvest those funds at First Federal Savings Bank. Jean and or Bob, if you guys want to describe that, you all should have an attachment with the resolution.
Yes.
Jean,
Okay.
you put together, I think you talked.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. We did some research about the best return, the best, I'm not coming up with the right one, percentage that we would get by investing. And First Federal seemed to be the best one for a 15-month CD, certificate of deposit. So Bob thought that was a good idea. It's a local bank. And actually, we're anticipating that as Bob's told me, that the rates may go up within the next year. So we didn't want to tie ourselves into something long-term when we may be able to get a better rate down the road. So that's why we chose a 15-month CD. So that's what we're looking at. And they asked for something official from the board, which is why we have drafted the resolution.
Am I muted? Let's see. No.
So,
Would anybody like to make a motion to adopt the resolution and authorize me to sign it?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Thank you all. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Great, thank you guys. We don't have any old business. Next thing we're looking at is adjournment.
Adjourn.
Second.
Okay, next board meeting is June the 8th. A couple of the committees will meet in between now and then. All in favor of approving the motion to adjourn, say aye.
I
Aye. Great. Thank you so much, Jean. Thanks to everybody. Take care and we'll see